So for today, I would like to make another video to kind of prioritize two centers again, which are the spleen and the emotional center. And they're kind of like in the chart, they're like the extreme opposites on like left and right side. And I also feel like, which is my personal interpretation in a certain way, I want to be clear about that, they're kind of like the two extreme opposites also in a certain way. Like, the emotional center, it's the solar plexus, it's the emotional authority, which is really the feeling through, like riding your wave and really feeling all these sensations, all these levels, every like the wholesome experience of feeling it all, which can take time. And also, like having it as an authority, which by definition, if you have a defined emotional center, it will be your authority. It is really this process of slowing down, of giving yourself the time to feel through all of it. And then on the other side, you have the spleen, and the spleen is just really in the moment. It's really intuitive, it's really instinctual, and it just knows, or better to say, it knows when it's a no, when it doesn't feel right, when it doesn't feel healthy, when it doesn't feel safe, when it doesn't feel aligned in that moment. And it doesn't have any logic. It doesn't have any logic in the very moment, but it goes really quick. And if you do have a spleen person, which was with a splenic authority, I often feel like they're way shorter in their communication. They're way more in the moment, way quicker, especially if they have their root defined, which is another aspect. But even though without the root, they're just so much quicker in, of course, taking decisions, but also moving through life and knowing what feels right for them and what doesn't. Um, Versus the emotional authority that just takes so much more time. Like they're really these snails, like ongoing process of decision making, ongoing process of life itself, and like processing life. And I often feel like it's it can be such I like one thing, and that's also a personal thing, but if you live in a relationship with like a splenic and an emotional authority, it asks so much awareness and so much um, patience and understanding for each other, especially the spleen authority for the emotional authority. And it can also be the other way around, that the emotional authority just constantly feels pushed to take a decision, to know, um, and to overrun basically their need to ride their wave and to take their time. Or also, like, not just in a partnership relationship, but also, and there maybe I can draw from my own experience in a parent-child relationship. My older son has a splenic authority. I do have an emotional authority. And it is a constant dance of accepting his in the moment decisions, and especially his no's. Before I knew about human design, I so often questioned his decisions. Now knowing that I should never do that. If it's a no, it's a no, and that's it. But I just so often interpreted my own process on his, um, in my past, not knowing about human design for myself. I so often took really quick decisions where today I know I have to take my time and I have to feel through it. and that it's very healthy for me and actually good to feel through all of it, and then at the end find that clarity, and that this takes time. And I communicate that with my son very, very often, that I just need a little bit more time to take a decision or to find clarity. And it can be a challenging dance, and it can also be a beautiful dance if you have that awareness. But they're really the two extremes, the two opposites. And maybe also a little part of my own experience of growing up. I am an emotional projector, and my sister is a splenic projector, and I always felt too slow. I always felt that I wasn't quick enough, that I wasn't fast enough for a lot of things, especially knowing what I want, or choosing something, because as children, our design comes so much more naturally, because there's still less conditioning. It's really with these experiences and growing up that we get conditioned, and that we find different strategies that are maybe not aligned with our human design strategy, or with our way, or in our authority or auto authority, or authority to take decisions. And remembering back at this time already, I felt so often pressured. I felt so often too slow. I felt so often that I could not explain or describe what I truly feel. And it was for me all this emotional, this very sensual, very procedural journey. And my sister was so much less emotional, and so fast in taking her decisions, and also so fast then in talking, and basically not talking me down, but pressuring me through her quick decision and her way of communicating, that I also have to make a decision. So sharing this, I basically want to say that I feel like it's so essential to know this, also to know this in your relationship, in your relationship with your children, or maybe also with siblings. So maybe that inspires you to have a deeper look in your human design and the one of your children's, to know what's going on there. Have a good day. Bye bye.